Those conversations coming through thick and fast as we see those thinkers, role players and thought leaders in the retirement space thrashing out the latest in terms of the gaps and stumbling blocks as they inch towards solutions and security where retirement is concerned. This is, of course, the inaugural event, and we've seen already the Deputy Finance Minister David Masondo deliver a keynote address. The concern being that there's only about 6% of those, retirees that will really at the end of the day or at the end of their retirement find joy within this space. So there's about 94% that is still left behind, and we see Old Mutual gathering all of these leaders to ensure that there is security post retirement. I'm going to bring Prabashini here with us in the conversation to just give us a sense of why is it that we really shift our focus now to what has been happening in the retirement space. We see you also talking about the future of work. We need to keep that in mind, but also just looking at the gaps that have existed over time. We are inching closer and closer to the two-pot retirement system that kicks in on the 1st of September. And you see from there that there is a long way to go where this retirement system is concerned. Welcome to the SABC. Prabashini, you are our host today. Really give us a sense of why we find ourselves here today.
Thank you so much. Thanks for the opportunity. So, we found as Old Mutual that 6% statistic that you mentioned, which is quoted over and over again, that's definitely not good enough. But we live in a complex situation. Many South Africans are unemployed. Many people are not even part of the retirement system. So we have a dual challenge, how to improve outcomes for those people who are saving, but how to also increase coverage of people who are not currently participating in the retirement system. We also know that with the current reality, to simply say to people, save more, when we know South Africans are facing everyday financial struggles, that's not a very useful piece of advice. So this is a complex problem. And so that's why we brought together people from different parts of our society, governments, regulators, industry, competitors, employers, and we spoke to pensioners and pre-retirees as well, because a complex problem like this needs multiple perspectives so that we can come together and co-craft something that can produce a better outcome in the future.
Where are we? Are we seeing people not in any way being educated enough about the importance of just, retiring securely, so financially, or people just don't have money to throw into different of these ports that they'll be able to cash in? What have you been picking up as you go about your work as Old Mutual?
I think from the research we find it's a little bit of both. So the industry, financial services, it can get quite complex. So there is a role to play for financial education and for empowering people to make better decisions. Sometimes people just don't know better. So we find a lot of people, when they change jobs, when they leave jobs, they cash out all of their savings and think they have this massive windfall. But actually that's money that's meant for when they're not working and when they reach retirement age. So there's an element of education and not knowing better. On the other hand, there's an element of people just having so many demands and trying to put food on the table. And it goes back to the fact that we need more jobs in South Africa and we need economic growth. So it's a complex, multi-sided problem.
Yeah. And just before we let you go, the 1st of September is just upon us, and the two-pot retirement system kicking in, and really maybe give us a sense of what you've been picking up. I know from our end as the SABC, there's still a lot of confusion, even from the workers, in terms of how this system is going to work. What have you been picking up, and what can we expect when the 1st of September comes through?
Thanks for that question. So very important for people to realize they will take time for their pension fund to process. Should they want to withdraw money from their savings pot, it will take time for that to be processed. So very few, if any, or probably no withdrawal will actually happen on the 1st of September. So while the law comes into effect, there are processes that will need to happen. There are tax directives that we need to get as retirement fund administrators. So I think people should prepare themselves that it's not cash available immediately on 1 September. They should also prepare themselves in terms of whether they have sufficient savings in their retirement fund in order to make a withdrawal. 25 to 30% of fund members, we found, don't even have enough accumulated savings to meet the minimum withdrawal amount for the two-pot savings pot. So 25 to 30% of people aren't eligible to make a withdrawal post-September. And of course, we're focusing a lot on the withdrawals, but the reason that industry is supportive of the changes is 2/3 are going into preservation. And that means for the generations to come who are saving now, they will have much better retirement outcomes than we've managed to deliver to date.